Hello children, in this slideshow we are going to discuss another most popular topic coming under Unit 4, that is trading block. This is the lesson content we have to discuss. First one is expansion of trading blocks. Other one is some types of trading blocks there are in the world, EU or the European Union, ASEAN and NAFTA. Other topic is the impact on businesses of trading block. These are the learning objectives of this lesson. That means at the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand what is a trading block and then how useful those trading blocks to the international trade. Then what are the leading trading blocks in the world? At last, the positive and the negative impact of trading blocks on businesses. First topic is the expansion of trading block. Just as people often prefer to shop close to where they live, businesses also prefer to trade within their geographical region because it's cheaper to transport goods and services as well as it's easy to move to the market and they can be reduce the logistic cost. So most of the countries now they are going to form trading blocks within their region. So with the previous lesson we have discussed about World Trade Organization as it is the main organization established for the international trade. So the WTO's main intention is promoting the international trade. But now most of the countries they are willing to set the regional trading agreements. So that is called RTA. So these regional trading agreements are similar or are very common to the region as well as region wise they can generate different trading blocks. So the common rules, common restrictions, common policies are there when doing the trading. Slide number 5, forms of trading blocks. So there are different types of or the different forms of trading blocks we can see. First one we are going to discuss in this slide, free trade areas. So free trade area is a group of countries that have few or no barriers to trade in the form of tariffs or quotas between each countries. Free trade areas tend to increase the volume of international trade among member countries and allow them to increase their specialization in their respective competitive advantages. Other type of trading bloc is custom unions. This means it's a generally defined as a type of trading bloc which is composed of a free trade area with a common external tariff. Custom unions are established through trade pacts where the participant countries set up common external trade policy. So as an example, we can take out Caribbean Community as the custom union. Next one is common markets. Common market is a formal agreement where a group is formed among several countries in which each member country adopts a common external tariff. So we can introduce ASEAN as a common market. This is another type of trading bloc, single market. So single market in which most trade barriers have been removed with some common policies and product regulations and freedom of movement of factors of production and of enterprise and services. So a common market is usually referred to as the first stage towards the certain of a single market. It usually is built upon a free trade area with no tariff for goods and relatively free movement of capital and services, but not so advanced in reduction of other trade barriers. So European Union we can take as an example of this single market. Other form of trading bloc is economic union. So this means involvement of both the customs union and the common markets. So based on this method or based on this form, the member countries are using a common external tariffs, as well as internally among the member countries there are no tariffs or any other barriers. As well as these member countries are economically, politically and culturally they are so close. Another point is these countries are using a common currency. That means they are using a common economic and monetary policy among the member countries. So by including all these features, we can find one trading bloc under this economic union category, that is European Union. Here in this slide, I have shown you the integration and trading bloc. So there are four common points: common external tariff, no internal trade barriers, free movements of goods, labor and capital, and common currency. So this is like a summary for all the types of trade barriers. We'll look at one by one. Free trade area means no internal trade barriers among the member countries. Second one, custom unions means common external tariffs are there and no internal trade barriers among the member countries, as well as free movements of goods, labor and capital not allowed. Then single market. Single market also a common external tariff for all the other non-member countries, but no internal trade barriers, as well as this market allows for free movements of goods, labor and capital. Last one is economic union. So in an economic union, common external tariffs for the non-member countries and no internal trade barriers among the member countries, free movements of goods and labor and capital is allowed, and another common one is common currencies using by the member countries. So this is like the summary of the types of trade barriers. Now we will discuss the most important economic union in the world, that is European Union Trading Bloc. So this was established in year 1993 with only 6 members. Then after that, at present we can see 28 members are there. But United Kingdom also a major or the main member in the European Union, but they have decided to leave the European Union in year 2016, and they are using a common currency called euro among the member countries' transactions. But we can see even among the European Union countries some cultural differences are there, and they are using different languages, customs and religions. So those things are there in different manners, but among the countries they are using a common currency, as well as no trade barriers among the member countries, as well as they are using a common external tariff policy, as well as this union is allowed to share the labor, goods as well as the capital across the member countries. This slide shows you the 28 flags of European Union countries, but at the end, at last row, I have circled one flag. So that is belongs to the United Kingdom. So in year 2016, United Kingdom decided to leave the European Union. So now for the moment there are only 27 members in the European Union. ASEAN is another giant trading bloc in the Southeast Asian nation. So this was established in 1967 October 8th. So there are nearly 10 member countries. So this ASEAN's aims and the purposes are to accelerate the economic growth, social progress and cultural development in the region, as well as to promote the regional peace and stability through adding respect to the member countries and continuing the justice and the rules of laws in the relationship among the countries. Another one is to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance on matters of common interest in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and administrative fields. So, another aim is to provide assistance to each other in the form of trading and reach facilities in the educational, professional, technical, and administrative areas. So, in this map, you can see what are the member countries of ASEAN: Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Colombia, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia. So these are the 10 member countries of the ASEAN. Another popular trading bloc we can see in American continent, that is called as NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. So there are main three countries there as the member countries. Those are USA, Mexico, and Canada. So this union also formed in year 1994. So this agreement covers trade and investment, labor, financial dealing, intellectual property, and common environmental issues. As well as these member countries, only 3 members are there. These 3 member countries have agreed to maintain common tariffs, as well as they are eliminating tariffs on most of the manufactured goods when dealing with among the member countries. This map shows you the 3 member countries of the NAFTA. So, North American countries, Canada, USA, and Mexico. Now we will look at the common factors to consider in trading bloc. First one is where to produce. This means a country may be able to move to a neighboring country where the cost of land, labor, or capital are most favorable to it. So, when a particular country is joining to a trading bloc means they are not going to do their business or establish their business in their mother country only. They can move among the member countries. They can find out a country or a place which is having a cheap labor, which is having low cost of lands, as well as which the country which is having more capital, more technology. So they can find out the most favorable, most profitable, most efficient place for them to do and start the business activities. Next one is where to sell. So companies may consider a trading bloc as a one big market. So they don't want to struggle to find out markets, as well as they should not be limited to their domestic market. So among the members, they have agreed to sell these goods among the countries. So where to sell is stable because already with the agreement they are creating the market among the member countries. Next factor is how to enter to the market. So the market entry strategy may be adapted according to the opportunities presented by the free trade areas or the common market. So with the agreement itself, it is giving permission, it is giving opportunity for the businesses to enter to the member countries' markets. Therefore, if a country is joining to a trading bloc means they don't want to worry about the place where they should set up their business, as well as they should not worry about the place where they can sell their products because already they have the market. Other thing is how to enter to the market, those barriers also eliminating with the agreements of the trading bloc. Now we will discuss what are the opportunities that the businesses can gain through these trading blocs. First one is countries can get the advantage with the area where they specialize in. So if a particular country specializes in primary sector production, they can give the specialization, they can give the priority on that sector and able to sell the products to the member countries. Next one is businesses able to get a wide exact market for their goods and services. Definitely, businesses don't want to find out the markets because they should not be worried about finding markets. By joining to a trading bloc, automatically the member countries are converting as their marketplace for their goods and services. So there's an exact market for the goods. Next one is with the improvements of the trade volume, economies of scale can be obtained. So, when a particular business is targeting the member countries or a particular wide market other than the domestic market, definitely they may have to produce large quantity of output. With that, they'll be able to achieve the economies of scale, so that will be leading to reduce the cost of production as well as they can sell the products at somewhat reasonable price among the member countries. Next one is with the high competition, market efficiency may increase. Definitely, these businesses, the domestic businesses also may have to engage with this competition there among the member countries. Therefore, they will be able to find out new technologies, new methods that other countries are using. With that, the business efficiency, effectiveness plus productivity is increasing. Last point is trading blocks may also provide counterbalance. Here I have selected some drawbacks of trading blocks to the businesses. So with that, the first point is inefficient producers may be protected from competition. The producers, those who are producing goods, that means sometimes unwanted goods, and sometimes some are just doing the businesses not in efficient manner, not by using standard technology or the quality uh, materials and all, they are also being protected with this trading blocks as there's less competition among the member countries. Second one is even a particular country joined to a trading bloc, but the trading bloc agreements are too much strict and they are limiting the goods that can be traded among the member countries, then almost all the member countries cannot be obtain the expected result by joining to a trading bloc. Next one is locally some of the benefits may be distributed unequally. Sometimes the income or sometimes the knowledge, sometimes the employment opportunities are not being distributed equally among the people. Next one is there may be economic and political imbalances among the member countries. So if we take SARC as an example, there are 9 members. So among what means almost all the countries, they are in different economic levels, political levels, and some countries are facing with some wars. So with these imbalances, some of the trading bloc objectives are not to be achieved. Next one is for small organizations, especially there are entry barriers, as well as for large organizations more market competition is there. So these points are kind of drawbacks, and with these drawbacks the trading blocks ultimate objectives cannot be. Here you can see top 10 regional trading blocks in the world: ASEAN, APEC, BRICS, SAARC, then European Union, COMESA, then NAFTA, like that. 2018 January, Unit 4. Another question. Vietnam is about to join the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. It's a trading bloc. Analyze two possible impacts of this for a business locating in Vietnam. So one opportunity is they have an opportunity for increased exports. So with the case study, I have given you the application part in green color. Then the analysis. The TPP or the Trans-Pacific Partnership includes developed nations such as the USA, Japan and Australia cuts in tariffs make it easier to export to these countries. So as a group or as a trading bloc, they can get that opportunity with the low tariffs imposed by the USA, Japan and Australia. They can easily do their export to such countries. There's one evaluation also, because this is an 8-mark question. So the evaluation is the Vietnamese people will have more employment and disposable income to spend. Next point is local businesses will benefit. So with this join to the trading bloc, local businesses or the Vietnam domestic businesses may get benefits. So the GDP boosted by $36 billion. So that is a kind of a prediction. They can increase their GDP by $36 billion. So the analysis is, by locating in Vietnam, Samsung can increase sales and profits by locating in Vietnam, Samsung can increase sales and profits as without tariffs its products become more competitive. Definitely. So if Samsung locates in Vietnam, so they can increase their sales, profits, as well as become the Samsung company may become more competitive in the Vietnam market. Evaluation is, this increases the demand for local businesses who will see a rise in sales as a result. In this slide, I have put some questions for you all to do by referring this presentation as well as your textbook. And you all are supposed to do the getting started questions, activities as well as the chapter end questions with this chapter. Now children, we have come to the end of our presentation, as well as this presentation is the last presentation of unit 4.1. Hope you all understood very well about the unit 4.1. Thank you. Good luck.